This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
Yo, what's good guys? It's Nightwing2303. Welcome back to Nightwing Knows. Finally, I gave you guys, or those of you that follow me on Instagram, the opportunity to choose whether it be a single question per video or just a large 10 to 15 minute formatted video with me just kind of like rapid firing as quickly as possible these questions. Everybody chose option 2, so that is exactly how we're going to go about it. Some of the questions I'm going to be able to rapid fire off. Some of the questions are going to take a little bit more of my time, so however many I can fit within 10 to 15 minutes, I'll do that. And if I need to make multiple videos so I can fit everybody's questions in, then I will do so as well, because right now we got about 208 questions. So we'll see how many are doubles and things like that. I doubt that too many of them are, but you never know. So with that being said, let's go ahead, get right into it.
While we're eating.
How do you feel about Boogie to New Orleans? You know what? Honestly, I don't know what I think. I think it's a very strange move, but somebody over in Sacramento might know what they're doing. They might not. I believe Vladi actually said in an interview that they know, or that they're aware that this is not a right here and now good decision. It's not something that's going to benefit them anytime soon. As far as New Orleans go, having two big men like that, like Anthony Davis is a beast, and the dude is not just a traditional big man. That's kind of DeMarcus's job, you know what I mean? Like Cousins is not a old school big man, but he's the closest thing that the NBA has right now to being an old school big man. So having him there with such an athletic, tall guy, similar to KD is how I would describe Anthony Davis. I think that that's going to benefit New Orleans much more than it will Sacramento. As far as how do I feel about it personally, I really don't care. I'm not a fan of either team, so you know, it doesn't bother me one bit. What do you think about brands pushing players to certain teams to promote their shoes? You know, business is business, and that is a business decision. However, I do feel that the NBA and whatever brand we're talking about, whether it be Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Jordan, whatever, like those are not part of the NBA, you know what I mean? And I think that they should remain separate. So it's up to the player to really focus in on what they want for themselves, which is what Kevin Durant did, and LeBron James at one time, who else? Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen when they went over to Boston, and Ray Allen again when he went to Miami with LeBron. So you know what I mean? Like this is a decision that should be completely up to the players. I think that it would be unfair for the player to allow their brand that they're signed with or any other team to try and like persuade them, even though the teams are already trying to bring you in. So I think that the sneaker brands should stay out of it. They should do their thing, which is promote their sneakers wherever their players end up in, and then focus on that. Stay out of the league business though, because that's not your job, and that's not where you guys belong. Favorite sport besides basketball? I actually don't have one. Basketball is the only sport that I like. How do you still feel about blowing a 3-1 lead? Last time I checked, I'm not on the Warriors or OKC's squad, so I didn't blow. Sorry. Favorite LeBron shoe to play in and looks wise? My favorite looking LeBron shoe might be the LeBron 3. I think that those are just really, really sexy. Both the mids and the lows of those look incredible. Tech spec wise, those are awesome too. I believe that shoe had full length. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm remembering correctly, full length zoom. And I mean, the shoe just looks great. As far as performance goes, I think I'd still have to pick the LeBron 8. Like that might be my favorite. Period. I did really like the 12 too, but I'm gonna stick with the 8. I think that the 8's great. I also think that the 8 is the last like cool looking LeBron as well. At least it's the last one that used like real materials like nubuck, suedes, leathers, and things like that. How do you keep your shooting form in a game, or how do you make your shot muscle memory? Well, it's all about practice and repetition, so it doesn't matter too much. I mean, it does, like, there's basic shot mechanics that you should have in place for yourself if you want to be considered a shooter. But as far as just, you know, muscle memory and things like that, like everybody has their own individual shot, and every shot works for every individual person differently. So if I'm gonna, you know, sweep and sway and things like that, or like launch from the back over here, like it might not be as effective as how I was personally taught to shoot. Because I used to come up when I was first taught to shoot, like I used to bring the ball up from my waist and like kind of push it the way that Curry almost shot back when he was younger. And it's not a great way to shoot, because a lot of defenders, especially if they're tight on you, they're gonna get in that little pocket zone as you're trying to get your shot up. So the way that I was taught was to catch up top in your pocket and automatically just like be ready and set. So that's how I was taught. And then there's again the basic mechanics of the follow through and things like that. So as far as just keeping it ready, you just have to practice. It's all about repetition.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
And then once you get all of that stuff down in game, it's just, you got to turn your brain off and work strictly off of instinct. What do you think about the Lakers youngsters? I haven't actually watched a lot of their games, but they're young, they're hungry, and we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna discount them because they've been proven, they've proven themselves to beat good teams like the Warriors, but I don't expect them to go far or anything like that as of right now. But you know, mess around with their little pieces a little bit, and I'm sure that they'll be back on top eventually. Actually, as of right now, they just got rid of their front office and they put in place Magic Johnson, so we'll see how that works out for them. Why do you think Curry's the best when he's clearly not? Well, I don't know. I never said he was the best, so you know, you should probably try to get to know me before you actually assume things about me. That's normally how things work with people, you know what I mean? I know that the internet is big and vast, and you can say shit without getting popped in the face afterwards, but you know, you should get to know somebody before you make an assumption out of them. I was always taught that assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Thoughts on the dunk contest? I actually missed all of All-Star Weekend this year because I was in the middle of moving and unpacking and setting up the new area that's going to be downstairs and all that stuff. Like, I was able to get this done beforehand, this room or office, but I also have a separate recording space with the white backgrounds and all that. So I missed everything, and from what I've heard, I didn't miss much, so you know, whatever. Name 5 shoes and specific colorways you want to see retroed. That would be for a separate video, because I'm trying to rapid fire these as quickly as possible, or like quick descriptions, and that's something where I'd have to like sit back and really think, because it could be a number of shoes. I do know that 2 of them that I really wanted retroed are getting retroed this year, which is the low top 13s in the 2 original low top colorways, the black and navy with the white pods, and then the all black and chutneys. Those are 2 of just my favorite of that shoe. Actually, the 13 is just, every colorway of them is gorgeous as far as original colorways. So I'd have to actually sit down. Maybe I'll make it my top 5 of that later on. Do you think Nike basketball is making a comeback with models like the LeBron 14, KD 9, and Kyrie 3, as they all seem like good performers, along with the Hypershift and Zoom Live? You know, making a comeback's like a strong statement, because they never left. So there's just been brands that are putting out slightly better for better prices, and people are starting to actually recognize that. I think what Nike's downfall is that they are doing the same kind of thing, and they're thinking that they're gonna charge more for it, and it's just crazy. Like the LeBron 14, for example, I really like the shoe, you know what I mean? Like, it's not perfect by any means, but I do enjoy playing in that sneaker. However, it's a $175 sneaker, and the shoe literally is made out of foam and a mesh layer on top of that. Like there's no leather, there's no panels, there's nothing to it. So it's just like what of that is $175 like worthy of, you know what I'm saying? So that's the part that I'm kind of like, yo, like why are you trying to reach so far with these margins? Like, is it because you paid LeBron so much money, or what? Because like foam and mesh, like, I'm sorry dude, like, it's just not worth it. And then even when you have shoes that have uppers that feel like they're worth it, they're substantial, like the Kyrie 3 and even the KD 9, then some of them, they're not even putting in any tech in them as far as cushion, like the Kyrie, and they're giving you some excuse as to why, like, oh, like court feel, this, that, and the other, when it's just like, back in the 90s, you actually made shoes with Zoom Air because that was the court feel plus cushion that you were looking for, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, to me, it's just weird. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're backtracking on the stuff that you said originally. And then you have the KD 9, which is amazing, and to me 150 should be like the max for a signature sneaker, or just shoes in general, like no more than 150. I think that more than that is just ridiculous. And that shoe's great, and you know what I mean, like they got 1 out of 3. So I just think that their pricing was insane, and I think that that's what really hurt them, because there's other brands that are really coming for that spot, and they're putting in materials and cushion systems that some are better, some are not than Nike's, and again, their pricing is the thing that's killing them. But Nike never left. They're not making a comeback. They're here, and they're like, yo, we're gonna give you the signature for what is it, 120 for the Kyrie, 110 or 115 or something like that for the Paul George. So they're 150 for the KD 9. They're starting to reconsider their pricing structure, but not completely, because it hasn't hit them that hard yet. But you know, that's where you vote with your wallet. You're like, yo, 175 for LeBron made out of foam, I'm not having that. And that's what will eventually change the structure of the system. Which shoe that caused a lot of hype that you didn't like? I don't know. I don't really pay don't really pay attention to that stuff. I guess the original, the very original, the Nike Yeezy, the first one, that one I still don't really like that design at all, and it was an amalgam of different Nike models. I just thought it was weird. The colorways were cool though. I give it that. Like those black and pink ones and the tan ones, those were sick. As far as colors go, I just didn't like the design of the shoe. But otherwise, I don't know, dude. Like maybe the 750 Yeezy, because I mean that's just an overrated Uggs sneaker. You know what I mean? Like a sneaker boot or whatever you want to call it. Finish the Jordan series. I don't know which one you're talking about. Either the pop culture or the what is it? The Jordan Project, which is the performance reviews. I'm actually going to be finishing that. I did play in the last three, the 21s, 22s, and 23s, and each of them I don't like for a different reason. I'll get into it when I do those performance reviews. And as far as the Air Jordan pop culture series, the reason why that stopped when it did is just because of views declining. Those took me literally all day just for one video to edit and all that stuff, getting in all the extra clips and the motion, sound effects, all that stuff. And when views drop on each video, you're not getting a return out of that, out of your time that you've invested in it. And if I'm not seeing interest levels, you know, like if you're seeing interest levels drop, then I'm not gonna keep making the series. And that's all it is to it. It's just like a TV show or something on TV, and you know, people stop paying attention, so the show gets canceled. You might like it, but nobody else is watching it, and that's the thing that happens. And I just can't put in all my effort, all my marbles into one basket, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because if I'm gonna do that, it's got to be reciprocated back to me, and if it's not, I'm not gonna waste my time doing it. Tech wise, would you take the crazy explosive PrimeKnit or the D-Rose 7 PrimeKnit? They both have the same tech though. They both got PrimeKnit boost and really good traction. As far as performance goes, I'd probably pick the D-Rose 7 just because the traction on that shoe, actually both of them are really, really good, but for whatever reason I ended up really gravitating towards the D-Rose 7 more. Like I would take that shoe over the Explosive, even though the Explosive I think is a fantastic model. I would just take the D-Rose for some reason. I don't know what it was. I honestly couldn't tell you. Sometimes the traction on that shoe was just phenomenal, and that even had a clear sole and they just had great traction. I like the way that they fit my foot and all that stuff, and the firmer boost. While some people didn't like it, I do like it, so you know. But yeah, I would pick the D-Rose 7 just slightly, but at the same time you could flip a coin and I wouldn't be mad either way. Would you join the Celebrity All-Star Game? Sure, but I'd have to be a celebrity first. Slam ball or basketball? Basketball. I don't even know what slam ball is. What is that? Is that when you hit that ball against the wall, or is that something different? In what age did you think you'll start being good at basketball? I don't know, man. I still don't even think I'm that good now. I could just shoot really well. LOL, can I get a shout out? No. Life story, please. Again, that's a different video for a different day. Thoughts on the cast for the new Power Rangers movie? I actually don't know who the cast is as far as like actually recognizing the people, except for that one girl that's the Yellow Ranger. I think her name's Becky G. She's like a singer or something. I seen her in some music video one time. I think she had a single out or something like that, but I don't remember. But the rest of them I don't really know. As far as what I've seen from the trailers and the promotional stuff, I think that the movie's gonna be fun at least. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but hopefully it's fun. Who is gonna be the best player in the league 6 to 8 years from now when LeBron is gone? You know what? I don't know. I want to say Russell Westbrook, but I mean, we're talking 6 to 8 years from now. I don't know if Russell is going to still be able to be as explosive as he is right now at this moment. Maybe Kawhi Leonard. I think that's a guy who's calm, cool, collected on the court. He's a great defender, so maybe Kawhi, but I don't know. His personality is not quite as outlandish as Russell's, so yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, maybe those two. Those are what I picked. But 6 to 8 years from now, that takes a real big toll on your body. So I don't even know if those guys will be at their current level at that time. Have you ever been in a fight? Yeah, unfortunately. It happens when you're growing up, and hopefully you win. Or if you lose, you don't lose too badly. 2017 NBA Championship predictions. I said this when I was in the Philippines. I was talking to Slam Philippines, and I'll say it again. I still think that the reigning champs currently are the ones to beat. So if I was going to pick a team, it'd be Cleveland. It's the most logical choice. They've actually made pickups this year that are good pickups. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Love just went down, which is a bummer, but he wasn't vital to that win that they had last year. So, and they just added Korver. He's a good shooter. All that stuff stretches the floor out a bit for LeBron and Kyrie. Kyrie is super underrated, dude. Like this guy's got the dagger, man. Like that guy's shot. Man, he's not known as a shooter, but the dude can shoot, and he shoots when you don't. Like if you're the opposing team, like if you're a fan of the opposing team, you're just like, man. Do you use orthotic insoles, and what is your favorite? I normally try not to. The only times that I do is when I'm testing one for a brand, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, I try to test the shoes as they come, like stock, because I don't need orthotics or anything like that personally. All right guys, that's pretty much it for now. I know that I did not get through everybody's questions. I apologize. However, we will be doing this often, so I'm gonna try to shoot for once a week, but we'll see how it goes. If people don't watch them, then I'm probably not gonna make them, but you know, so we'll just have to see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Thank you to everybody that turned in a question, and if you guys got your question answered, then you know, big thank you to you, big shout out to you. If you did not, then stay tuned for the next one, because maybe it'll happen then. Thank you guys again, and until next time, have a good one.